What's up, everybody? You're back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, you've got Austin. I think that's the sides they're on. We're hanging out with you guys. Hit that subscribe button down below for your friends and your homies. 500 subscribers, we're giving away a free jersey. Every 500 subscriber benchmark, free jersey coming at you. We got the post Super Bowl mock draft for you guys today. Full first round mock draft. Guys, that Super Bowl, nobody saw that coming. Pure dominance, like belt to ass dominance.
A lot of tweets that were brought up, like C.J. Gardner talking shit about the offensive line for the Chiefs versus the Eagles earlier in the season. He tweeted out, "Well, let's see what happens when we play on a grass field," and goddamn, that's what happened.
I was just sitting there baffled the whole time. And Jamar Chase tweeted out the perfect tweet to where it's the meme of this dude is just getting the shit beat out of him and other dudes just sitting there laying on the ground with the camera recording it with a smile. And it's like, that was everyone else. Like, we're just sitting there watching it. Like, yeah, the three-peat would have been cool, but if you're going to deny the three-peat, that's the way to do it.
Yep. Biggest deficit ever in a Super Bowl. Biggest shutout ever in a Super Bowl. It's crazy.
Like, it was insane. And I know there was still a point where everybody was like 28-3. Is this going to be Pat's 28-3 moment?
I mean, at halftime, it was like, all right, it's 24-0.
But then once it got to about 6 minutes left in the third quarter, I was like, all right, if Pat does come back, I will forever say he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, it was never going to happen. Like, they just never were able to turn it on. That defense was the most dominant defense in football this year, and they proved it in the game that mattered the most.
Yeah, so Dolphins players, go ahead and tweet out some more things about kicking rocks when Vic Fangio leaves your team, because we see how that worked out for you guys. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this for you real quick. Subscribe down below. All right, Coach, you got the first pick. I've got the second. Austin's got the third, and we're just going to keep wrapping around from that. Pause. So go ahead, Coach. Who we got for the Titans?
So the Titans are going to pick the generational talent that they've been looking for, and it's not going to be a quarterback. I think that corner is a big need for them. I think Abdul Carter is the best player in the draft. If you're drafting a number 1 overall, you got to do that. You got to take the best player. So Abdul Carter just makes a lot of sense for me. I think that Micah Parsons could have been one of the top 2 or 3 picks in the draft that year if it wasn't for the off-the-field stuff. And this guy looks like a Micah clone.
See, that's where I was honestly thinking about this earlier if I would have done the first pick. And for me, when you say generational talent, I'm thinking somebody is dying in the background. Yeah, dying. We apologize to our viewers for that. But generational talent, I'm thinking like something we haven't seen in a generation. And to me, the only one that fits that bill is Travis Hunter.
I hear that.
Like, Abdul Carter, because we have Myles Garrett, we have Micah Parsons. Like, we've seen those guys. So for me, but you can't go wrong with Abdul Carter, especially with the Titans, because they need that edge help. So I like that pick.
So bad. Like, their defense, just they need the help. I think that's the position that'll help them the most in the future. And if you're rebuilding a franchise, you start in the trenches. Skill position guys are flashy and awesome. They sell tickets, but you start in the trenches like the Eagles and the Lions and some of these top teams right now in the NFL, and you'll have success.
Yep. So that's going to make me pivot, because if Abdul Carter was here at 2 with Myles Garrett most likely moving on, that was going to be my pick for the Browns. So for me, Travis Hunter's on the board, and that's very enticing. But I think for this coaching staff and this just overall franchise, after the Deshaun Watson stuff, they absolutely need a spark. Deshaun's not going to play this next season because of his injury setback. I don't know if Deshaun ever sees the field for the Browns again, just because it's been a failed experiment. I'm going Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward would be electrifying enough for them to take a shot on him. I think with their O-line troubles that they did have last year, I think he could help negate some of that. You give him Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper out there. Well, no, Amari Cooper moved on. That's my bad. But Jerry Jeudy, and then you still have your chance to take another wide receiver in this draft here to pair with him. Like, I don't know. I feel good taking Cam Ward for the Browns there. That'd be cool. All right, Austin, you're up. Giants.
I love the Cam Ward pick. For the Giants, I hate the Giants, but the Giants need help. It seems like, I mean, they definitely need their quarterback.
Yeah, this one to me is a no-brainer.
It is a no-brainer, but at the same time, like, who I would pick for their quarterback is not. Like, I would need them to trade back and then pick up Jackson Dart. That's a good quarterback for them to get.
That would be dope.
I mean, Jackson Dart's projected ADP based off of the mock draft simulator is 101. So they'd definitely be able to get him later on, early second round. I don't think he actually does. I think post-combine, a lot of these numbers are going to change drastically. Like Jalen Milroe and Dylan Gabriel going before Jackson Dart's a little bit crazy.
Yeah, that I don't see that happening, but yeah, we'll see. What's the pick here?
So it'd definitely be Shedeur Sanders, just the flashy player. He's going to sell tickets for him.
Not even that, but like the videos of coming out of the Shrine Bowl where, Daboll's just dapping him up, talking to him on the sidelines. Like, all the dots are connecting there to where if Shedeur's there at 3, I don't think they hesitate. Coach, Patriots at 4.
Patriots at 4, I feel like they already have a solid quarterback, right? Like, we all think that Drake May, they're going to be okay.
You're at least giving them another year or two.
Exactly. I think giving Drake May some help is massive. I think Will Campbell from LSU would be the safe pick. If it was my franchise, the way that I would go would be to fill out the trenches a little bit, give this guy a little bit of time to make some decisions. But Teterow and McMillan is absolutely going to be a matchup nightmare. And I think on the outside is something that they definitely need. Javon Baker, some of the guys that they drafted last year are going to be good complements to a guy like Teterow and McMillan as well. So I think that just makes a lot of sense for them.
I like that pick a lot. Because I do like Will Campbell because he gives you the chance to play guard or tackle for you there, just being that chess piece on the O-line. But you got to give your young quarterbacks big targets like that. Like, I love that pick right there. Jags on the clock here at 5. I know Mason Graham's been a really popular pick for them, and that's just filling out that D line. But I'm sitting here looking at it, and I don't think there's a world where the Jaguars believe that Travis Hunter's going to be there at 5 for them.
Exactly.
So I'm taking Travis Hunter. Like, you're going to have Liam Cohen coming in as the new head coach there. He's got Trevor Lawrence. He knows he needs to get help for his quarterback. He's already said so. So you bring in a guy like Travis Hunter, and they need help at corner anyways. So I think he just checks a lot of boxes for him. You get a star in Jacksonville, go on from there.
All right, Austin, you got 6. Raiders are on the clock.
What is the Raiders are on the clock? Pete Carroll needs himself a quarterback. Cam Ward's still there?
No.
Cam Ward's
nope,
not there.
Ward and Shedeur are both gone.
All right. So yeah, they're gonna be screwed there. They would definitely be going Luther Burden. Just get that stud.
Going Luther Burden here at 6.
You guys took Ted off?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I would say Luther going.
All right, so Luther Burden here at 6 for the Raiders. My spicy pick for them, if the quarterbacks are gone, is Ashton Gianti.
Okay. I've seen that a couple times.
Like,
it's a bit early, I think. even
Yeah, I
just
think
because
of
how
Pete Carroll and what he had with Marshawn Lynch,
True.
and it's just, yeah, let's get back to that. Especially if I believe they might bring in Russell Wilson, because I think that's the most likely spot for Russell Wilson for
That
a
makes a lot of
season.
sense.
So, yeah, I like that there. All right, Coach, Jets at 7.
Well, they don't need a running back. All the quarterbacks that are available are not able to really be drafted this high and it make any sense, especially whenever you have players like Mason Graham still available. They've got, a decent edge, but they do need one more interior defensive lineman to and build up in the trenches. It's early in the draft. This year's draft, the tackles, the guards, the defensive tackles, and the defensive ends are really where the value is. So you've got to get some of these guys, especially in the first 10.
I can't argue with that pick. I think Quinnen needs some help there on the interior, like you pointed out. I think they're fine at edge. There's no linebacker you're going to take high enough here. Will Johnson at corner would have maybe been a spicy pick, or Malachi Starks, just because they do need help in the secondary. But to me, you get a guy like Mason Graham, and with Aaron Glenn and how he wants to run his defense, there's really no wrong you can do there.
I want to say, didn't the Jets take a corner or a defensive back pretty early last year? I feel like they have a young guy that they brought along.
They took Sauce Gardner really high a couple years ago.
But not super high, but like in the first couple rounds. I felt like they had somebody that they picked up to like complement Sauce. So I feel like,
they had DJ Reed, but they didn't. He wasn't picked high or anything like that.
Okay.
And they drafted Jermaine Johnson. He's coming on. So, yeah, I like Mason Graham fitting in there. The Panthers, seeing Luther Burden and Tet McMillan both being gone at this point, are just punching themselves in the nuts. But it's okay because I'm taking the edge, Mike Green from Marshall. Bro blew up at the Senior Bowl. If you go and look at this dude's production over the last 2 years, it's absolutely insane. Like, yes, okay, he was playing against Marshall, so it wasn't like he was playing against the greatest talent. But go look what he did. Like, Ohio State posting a 71.4 PFF grade. To me, like, okay, in a big game, you didn't shit the bed. Like, I love looking at that. I like looking to see that, okay, he can play a little bit of off ball. Most of the time, he's just your typical stand-up edge guy. But 17 sacks last season with 32 quarterback hurries. Like, this dude is just a menace off the edge. So give me that in Carolina, because that's what they're going to need some more of. And you saw how big of a hole it was with Brian Burns being gone.
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah, let me inject that back into the team real quick.
And he's got the run defensive grade as well. He's literally a fully rounded, complete guy. Like, he does everything that you're looking for.
Yeah, he's a baller. Austin, New Orleans Saints at number 9.
Where tragedy took place. The Saints are going to go with Emeka Egbuka, receiver out of Ohio State. No, I know it looks like that, but like it's a good pairing up with the Olave. It's a solid receiver for them. I was definitely looking at Tyler Warren. Okay. He's a like freaking because juggernaut.
Olave, with all his concussions that he's had, he's been another one that they've been like low key talking about, like the Tua talk. Like, is this dude going to continue to play?
Yeah, he's on like the pedestal of that talk.
And outside of Olave, they don't have anybody. So go back to the well with the Ohio State wide receiver. And yeah, I like that. Okay. Emeka Egbuka at number 9.
So, Chicago, I feel like, I know I just talked shit to Austin about him just picking the same position over and over. I'm not going to pick defensive line, but I am going to go O-line. Will Campbell for Chicago gives them the versatility, guard, tackle. He can kind of do whatever you need him to do. And the biggest issue that they had this past year wasn't skill position guys. Honestly, DeAndre Swift, like their whole wide receiving core, their quarterback, all could have a lot more value if there was a little bit more time back there and a little bit more space. So, going to have to build up those trenches.
Will Campbell's not lasting to number 10, so that's an
No.
absolute steal for them. And like you said, just plug him in where you need him on the offensive line and just let him work. Yeah, love that pick. Really solid pick right there. San Fran, number 11. If you're still here with us, hit that subscribe. All right, we got some O-line needs, some D-line needs here for them. And for me, I'm just looking at this as San Fran. They just need to fill it out. They love athletic offensive linemen. And right now, to me, the most athletic offensive lineman on the board is Josh Simmons. Now, you're looking at Josh Simmons, and it's like, all right, he didn't really necessarily play all of last year, only 6 games played. There's a lot to be desired with this guy as far as what you're looking at on tape and what you're looking at just in the stat sheet. But the athletic profile that this guy has for you, it's a lot like how the scouts were just fiending over Tyler Guyton last year. Just this athletic specimen at offensive tackle. I like the prospect that he is over Kelvin Banks. I think Kelvin Banks comes in with the higher floor. But I think for what the San Fran likes to do, I think Josh Simmons would fit them better. So I'm taking Josh Simmons here at number 11 for him.
I also like that pairing up with the Bosa man.
Yeah, just Ohio State flavor.
He's the same kind of play style too, though, coming off the edge.
All right, Austin, you get your boys again.
Shoot,
Cowboys at 12.
This is where the real running back comes off the board. Omarion Hampton. Give it to me.
Ashton Genty.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Spicy.
That would have draft night buzzing right there.
And that's
the Cowboys took a running back, but they
don't take the Texas
Ashton.
running back.
They don't take Ashton. They take Omarion Hampton, which I wouldn't be mad at that. Would not be mad at that. Like, I love Omarion's skill set, but that would be spicy on draft night.
We're gonna see when the combine hits. You think Genty's even gonna do anything in the combine?
He might not. He doesn't really have to.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. You got our Finns here at number 13.
Let's just keep hammering it home. Build out the trenches. We're going to go Kelvin Banks Jr. Taking a player like Tyler Warren is actually a little bit interesting, kind of an idea. Getting this kind of bigger body.
George Kittle style.
Still athletic, but can block. Like, he can do it kind of everything you need to at the tight end position. But that's a trap. Like, we need to build out the position that actually matters the most. And right now for us, it's tackle and guard. So
yeah, the Dolphins aren't good enough to have a tight end in the first round as a luxury pick.
Exactly.
Because that's what it is a luxury pick.
This dude is kind of different, though.
Like I said, he's
sticks it in the ground and gets
it. Yeah. I like his play style.
Different. So Kelvin Banks at 13, and we'll just roll into that because I'll take Tyler Warren here at number 14 for the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts do have that luxury a little bit.
Not necessarily that luxury because I do think they need help in the secondary for sure, and I do think they need help at edge. However, if you're wanting to continue to try to build around Anthony Richardson to see what you have in him, my guess is for one more season, can he stay healthy and put it together? They need a tight end. Can you name me their tight end last year?
No.
Mo Cox.
Cox, yes.
Like
the mountain.
That's the only one I can think of. And that's no shade on the Colts tight ends. That's just saying like how much leaves to be desired, and their O-line is fine. Like, no qualms about the Colts O-line. Like, yeah, they could be a slightly better, but I'm not looking at replacing anybody. So give me Tyler Warren at 14 here for him. I know that's a pretty popular pick anyways. I thought they should have taken Brock Bowers last year.
Agreed.
So
we were so shocked.
We're not going to make that mistake again. We're taking Tyler Warren.
So shocked draft night when that didn't happen.
That's just because the Raiders took him before the Colts had a chance. So they shifted and went to Latu.
What are we thinking, Austin, for the Falcons?
Get the Falcons. You got to get a Georgia boy. Malachi Starks. Malachi Starks out of Georgia. Safety. You need a safety
Okay.
blanket there.
Okay. With Mykel Williams and James Pierce still on the board, we're taking Malachi Starks. Okay. Austin said we don't need edge help here in Atlanta. We're shutting down the passes.
That's
Baker,
right.
no fly zone.
Mm-mm. No,
All right,
Malachi's a
Coach.
dog.
Arizona at 16.
Another bird.
Yeah, I think. Well, let's take a look. We've got the 6'5", 243-pound, or the 6'5", 265. So we've got the more athletic, definitely outside of the tackle, James Pierce, or the Georgia boy, who's a little bit more versatile. Plays over the tackle, outside, off ball, B gap, kind of can be wherever you need. Yeah, I think we're going to go James Pierce. Just has a more productive last couple of seasons. He's definitely more of just like a kind of plug and play right in that slot where he does it. I think that he's going to have a little bit more for them. They need defensive line help kind of across the board. So I think just going with a guy that you can just set him outside and forget him is a little bit smarter.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like James Pierce as a prospect a lot. And so for me, if I'm sitting here as Cincinnati and I see James Pierce go, I'm honestly, kind of pumped because that means Mykel Williams or Shamar Stewart fell to me. And picking between the two, my preferred flavor is Mykel Williams, the edge out of Georgia. So that's where we're going for the Bengals there. They need desperate help on the defensive side. And to me, honestly, it doesn't matter where. So let me get Trey Hendrickson some help in the pass rush. Let me get Mykel Williams on the opposite side of them and just send the boys. Because teams are going to have to try to keep up with Cincy scoring anyway. So they're going to be throwing the ball.
Is Will Johnson still on the board?
Yes, he is.
He is.
Okay, so yeah, the Seahawks. It's not their biggest need, though. Yeah. Mike Green. Mike
Green's gone.
That's why. Okay.
He went at 8.
Yeah.
Motherfucker went at 8? Okay, and that's who I was thinking is Jack Sawyer. That might be the pick here. Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State. Probably my favorite pick for Seattle here. Just a gritty
I like
dog.
Jack Sawyer. He's just an overall just solid dude.
Still kind of has that athletic build over Shamar, who's got that 290, 6'6", 290. I can't wait to see some of these guys and how they're able to perform at the combine, because it'll tell me a lot more about like who they are as a player.
Jack's more of the the smaller size, like not necessarily too much smaller, but I would say Shamar is definitely better in the run game than Jack is, but Jack's a dog. Like, I always want dogs on my team, so I like that pick a lot. Who you got for the Bucks here at 19, Coach?
We're still not really getting to the point where any linebackers are really popping up. I think with them needing the type of defensive back help they have and Will Johnson still being available is crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and snag him now.
I like that. Yeah, they need it's. You sit here and you're looking on, if you're going along with us on the PFF mock draft simulator, no ads here, no sponsorships. Will Johnson fits a need for them. All their needs are on the defensive side of the ball. You watched them last year. That's absolutely where their needs are. I like Will Johnson plugging into that. So the Broncos here with me. Now, Deebo Samuel's hit the trade market. There's been a lot of, talk about would Sean Payton want that kind of chess piece because he's a mad scientist. So if they were to get Deebo, I don't think wide receivers necessarily a need for him. For me, they could use help at safety, but with Malachi Starks not being here, I'm not really pulling the trigger on a safety. I could be talked into Matthew Golden or, another wide receiver at this point. But right now, I'm going to go Colson Loveland, the tight end out of Michigan. Tyler Warren would have absolutely been the pick here for me, but with him being gone, I'm going to take Colson Loveland. We know how much Sean Payton loves his tight ends. To me, their wide receivers last year showed completely capable enough. So, yeah, I'm going to plug a tight end into that. The same thing that we were talking about with the Colts and why I took Tyler Warren. Let's just get a dude. He also helps you in the run game. We're good with Colson Loveland. Austin, you there for Pittsburgh? All right, Coach, make this pick for Austin. We'll let him jump in when he gets back in here.
All right. Quarterback again's too early. Defensive back is a huge need. Same with wide receiver. We listened, Pittsburgh Nation, last year whenever we kept taking Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round. You guys all said, we don't
Brian
do
Thomas
that.
was legit last year, though.
I know. And how much would
he
he have helped Pittsburgh? But the Pittsburgh faithful, that's not what they want because they know that that's not what they do. Now, they do have a young corner that they took last year in the first round, and I think matching him up with another guy that's kind of in that same skill set might play for the Fighting Irish and Benjamin Morrison could make a lot of sense. So, Austin, you're back before I made the pick. Did you want to make Pittsburgh's pick for him?
Yeah, who would you pick for the Broncos?
The Broncos, I took Colson Loveland from Michigan.
Colson Loveland. Love that pick. And who did you take for the Bucks?
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson. Yes, sir. Okay. For the Steelers. Who was you thinking?
He was about to pull the trigger on Benjamin Morrison.
Benjamin Morrison. I don't mind that pick. I don't mind that pick at all. And Will Johnson's still there?
No, Will Johnson just got taken.
Will Johnson went to the Bucks. We just told you this, Austin. Pay attention in class, son.
Well, man, I'm trying to catch up now. My mind's all scrambled.
So Benjamin Morrison,
QB, wide receiver, DB. Yeah, I like what you're thinking. Yeah, Benjamin Morrison.
All right.
Now he's a stud, bro.
Yeah,
I like him a
lot. So Chargers are on the clock. Running back, wide receiver, tight end, edge, all being big needs.
Jim Harbaugh is looking at this board with Ashton Jeanty here at 22 and was like, how?
Yeah. I don't think that it'll actually happen. O'Marion Sanders might be here right now. And that's
O'Marion
likely
Hampton?
Hampton. Wow. He's not Barry Sanders. Not even close. But maybe. Ashton Jeanty, though. I like that pick a lot for them. It just makes the most sense. I think wide receiver isn't as much of a need anymore because Ladd McConkey and the fact that they're going to try to run the ball so often. I think tight end would be good, but not with Colson being gone.
Yeah, that just screams a Harbaugh pick. Like, I love that right there.
Even with my man Kimani Vidal being there, I still think they could probably use a little Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, everybody could use a little Ashton Jeanty.
That's the thing
come on.
They're going to get one of them, whether it's Ashton Jeanty, O'Marion Hampton, or Caleb Johnson. They're going to get one of those studs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a great point. So, for me, Packers here, I'm looking at Matthew Golden. Like, I think Matthew Golden on this team would be a nice fit into this team and for what this offense could use for them there. But, even Josh Jacobs came out and said, like, we need a bona fide number one guy. Like, we need somebody to step up, be that number one guy, because they have a lot of wide receiver 2s and 3s on that team. No shade or disrespect, but, like, that's just what it is. However, because Shamar Stewart is still here on the board, I'm not passing that up for Green Bay. Like, I'm going to give them that edge help, especially with the offenses that they're having to play there with Detroit and Minnesota. Go ahead and give me Shamar Stewart. They also took, I'm blanking on the name, and I'm so mad at myself right now because he balled, but they took the linebacker from Texas A&M last year. Just go ahead and get his teammate, bring in Shamar Stewart this year. I love that pick for the Packers there. I don't think Shamar is lasting till 23, so this is a steal.
Okay.
Austin, you got Minnesota. You gonna bring Sam Darnold some help?
Shoot, what you think his biggest need is? I mean, I think. What the fuck you just say? I'm sorry, I'm locked into the draft, and you over here spitting fugazi.
I was waiting for it to click.
He will not be the quarterback next year.
Oh man, that was good. I needed that.
Anakin Skywalker will be. I hate you.
I hate you.
So, Skull is gonna pick. I mean, you. They really don't need another receiver. We got Isaiah. Not Isaiah.
I'm looking at two guys here, and just because with Brian Flores' defense, I think they would both fit in nicely.
I really want to go Caleb Johnson for him, just because I think that's the best skilled player there for him. But you think Walter Nolan?
Yeah, I was looking at Walter Nolan or Kenneth Grant.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would agree with you. I'd go Walter Nolan there.
Like with how effective Christian Wilkins was in Flores' defense, like I think that's Walter Nolan.
Yeah, definitely a more athletic looking guy, based off of the size.
Yeah, we'll go Walter Nolan.
So Houston's on the clock.
25. Hit the subscribe.
I think it's crazy that they have wide receiver as one of their biggest needs, like as their biggest need. Because like I know Tank Dell got hurt again, but like they have a bona fide number one, and then they also have Tank Dell. I think that interior offensive line would be big help for them.
Any offensive line to me, like you have Tunsil, but outside of him, like I think all four. Kenyon Green at guard's pretty solid, but yeah, I think anywhere on the offensive line you can't go wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna go North Dakota State, Gray Zabel.
I like that. I like that pick. Mimbu still being. I like me some Mimbu from Missouri, but Zabel, Zabel. However, hey, if you're listening to this, Greg, tell us how to pronounce it. I like that pick. You're just getting a dude from up north. All he does is eat cornbread and play football. Like that's it. Right. That's all he cares about. And I need those guys on my team. So like that pick a lot. All right, LA on the clock here now. Tight end's not necessarily available. I got Walter Mimbu here, but to me, like, okay, they're shipping out Cooper Kupp. I don't know how much it's going to play on it, but Matthew Stafford's wife has come out and essentially said, we're not tied to LA. Now, that's his wife on her own separate deal, so I don't know how much you're going to tie to that, but that does make me want to look at the quarterback position here. Now, I'm not looking at Dylan Gabriel. I'm not looking at Gunnar Helm or anything like that. And I know you're having to scroll down here in the ADP. I'm going to take Jackson Dart at 26 for the Rams.
Ooh, yeah.
Because even if Stafford comes back, how many more seasons do you realistically think Stafford's got in his bag?
Not many.
Not many.
So I'm taking Jackson Dart here. I don't care if it's a spicy pick. I'm taking that guy. And we're rolling with him. I'm hoping Stafford comes back for one more year. I'm still pulling the trigger so he can sit for a season.
Giving him a season to sit's not going to be a bad thing at all.
No.
Guy's going to be 22 this season. Gives him a little bit of time to develop to the speed of the NFL. He's already got all of the pieces you need. And to sit behind a guy like Stafford, I mean, he should be ready after a year of that.
Yep. So Jackson Dart, 26. You're a first-round pick. Wow.
All right, Austin. Them Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore.
Armand Membo.
Easiest pick of the draft.
Missouri.
That is a Baltimore Ravens pick if I've ever seen it.
100%.
I love that pick. Like, give me some Mimbu. Like, we always say it every time we do one of these things. Like, you want to see the progression. And okay, 2022, 2023, left a good bit to be desired. But in 2024, this dude played out. Like, I
Lights
love
out.
what he was. Gave up 0 sacks. He's only given up 3 sacks in his whole collegiate career. I love what he can give you at 6'3", 314 as well. I do believe that he gives you some versatility on the inside as well. So, yeah, I love that pick for you there at Mimbu. To me, Austin, that's probably my favorite pick that you've made this whole draft. So, it
was a solid one.
That's a great pick. All right, Coach, Detroit. What's the fighting kneecappers gonna get?
They are going to get an A gap, B gap, interior defensive lineman Kenneth Grant from Michigan.
And Aiden Hutchinson's like, yo, hey, I've got a guy for you here.
Yeah. And it says that edge is their big need. I think that edge is definitely a need for them, but
bring them home.
Instead of Nick Scourton, I think that beefing up that middle of the defense is going to help out Aiden a lot. 339-pound, 6'3", Kenneth Grant is just everything about a little bit of MCDC football.
Mm-hmm. And
Yes,
you're making all of my picks really easy, because then that allows me for the Commanders to go ahead and take Nick Scourton. I was looking at Matthew Golden, I was still looking at him there, and I was even looking at Josh Connerly Jr., maybe even Jahdae Barron from Texas at corner. But to me, for Nick Scourton to still be here at pick number 29 gives him that edge help. Dan Quinn gets another pass rusher on his team. We saw how effective he was having Micah Parsons. Nick Scourton is not Michael Parsons, but 6'4", 285 with his athleticism. Give me all of that at pick 29.
I like it. I like it a lot. It makes my pick a lot easier. Now I can go ahead and get Andrew Armstrong out of Arkansas for the Bills.
Wait, is that serious?
No, so we're going to go with Matthew Golden.
Okay.
I mean, I think he's a great receiver, but Matthew Golden is the pick here. He just fell to the Bills. Perfect receiver for that
Andrew Armstrong isn't even on my list of draftable wide receivers.
Bump him up.
Not even on PFF's list. You need to give a shout out to PFF there. Like, where is Andrew Armstrong on this board right now, guys?
Sleeping. Y'all sleeping.
Sleeping.
The whole league sleeping.
Literally the whole world is sleeping on this guy.
Except for me.
He could be working at Publix for all we know right now, and we're sleeping on him.
Literally.
All right, so Matthew Golden for the Bills. I love that pick. I hate it as a Dolphins fan, but I love that pick if I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. You got Keon Coleman early last year. Like, okay, that's cool, but guess what? You also passed on Xavier Worthy, and we saw what he did to you in the AFC Championship game. So let's not even play with that again this year. We're just going to go ahead and get Matthew Golden and be good with it. So I like that pick a lot. All right, Coach. Kansas City Chiefs, they're still wiping the snot off their nose. How you helping them out?
How are you going to turn this team around?
We all watched that game last night, and whenever watching it, a lot of people are probably like, they probably need a new quarterback.
New quarterback. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel right here.
There you go.
No, you know what it was? They saw what Jalen Hurts did. They said, give me some Jalen Milroe.
Yes. That's what they need.
Is.
I need a guy that can run it 70 yards.
Bama action.
And throw it for 125.
That's what we need.
Only use them when they need them, too. Just for tush pushes.
That's what we need.
Just for tush pushes.
And I know that they had a little bit of injury across their offensive line, but that is still their biggest need as a team. Like, at this point, their defense was pretty lights out this year. They weren't in the Super Bowl, but they played great. And they're going to have to replace Chris Jones pretty soon. But I don't think that that's going to happen in this draft in the first round. I think Josh Connerly Jr., Dylan Gabriel's left tackle, is going to add some value and some depth to their team in a position of need.
I like that pick a lot. Josh Connerly Jr. All right, Philadelphia Eagles. If you're still here with us, hit that subscribe button. Do it for your friends. Do it for your family. Do it for your homies. Do it for us. All right.
They don't need a
So,
pick.
as the Eagles, not even joking, I was sitting here scrolling on the top of my board, and I was like, all right, where's the next Georgia player?
Literally, that's what I was scrolling down for. Looking.
Where's the next Georgia guy?
And it's kind of far.
Jalen Walker.
Yeah, he's not there for me right now. So I'm looking at the Eagles. We just watched them dominate. Like, what do they really need? They don't need offensive line. They obviously don't need running back. Why wide receiver is listed as a need to me? Like, okay, wide receiver
just
3.
Depth.
Like,
Depth. They got a lot of
I don't
drama
necessarily
in
think
the
they
wide
need
receiver room.
corner. Edge to me, okay, that'd be cool, I guess.
They've got Jalen Carter.
They look at how their line,
To me-
their D line turned up. Like,
To me, though, I am looking at it with on the business side of Darius Slay's not getting any younger. And while he still is a super effective corner, you just got Quinyon Mitchell, you just got Cooper DeJean. Now, I think Cooper DeJean is going to become just a master of the slot work, so he can give you some more of that safety role too. So I'm between Tylik Williams from Ohio State, the interior defensive lineman, or Jahdae Barron from Texas right now. And I think their front seven look just fine. Like not just in the Super Bowl, but all season long. So because of that, when you don't have to blitz Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl and you can still get 6 sacks on him, let me get Jahdae Barron here, the corner out of Texas. And I'm just going to have dominant DBs in the back. And not even if Darius Slay, falls off a cliff or anything like that, going forward, your secondary is pretty much set. Because even say Reed Blankenship moves on, I feel like Cooper DeJean could shift into that role just as easily. Like, so to me, it allows you some movement back there for the Eagles. Jahdae Barron, I think that'd be a home run for them at 32.
You know what I just thought about? You remember at the beginning of the season whenever Hassan Reddick was giving him all that shit about trying to get re-signed for money? That was
and
with
they
the
shipped
Eagles.
him to New York.
Yeah, to the Jets. Go have fun
And then
over
he
in
did
the
the
fucking
same
Jets.
thing to the Jets until week 7.
Yeah. I guess they didn't need him.
No, they didn't need him. They're sitting there Hassan was just sitting at home, just like, oh, what's that like?
Yeah.
But hey, guys, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Next week, we're coming with you with our top 10 edge rushers. We're going to go ahead and rank those guys for you. With the draft season really starting to roll in, we're going to be pushing out content for you weekly, so that way we can just get through everything for you. Really excited to dive into our team preview series. Subscribe down below. Do it for us. Do it for you. We're giving away jerseys out here, guys. Free stuff. Peace out.
totally.